interest rates are still elevated, like a lot. So how are you not enough time.
Yep.
How are you underwriting deals today, and where are you finding the numbers to still make sense out of it?
Oh, yeah, this has really been, dude, how cool. Okay, so in all seriousness, Dayton doesn't prep me on any of these questions. I have no idea. I have never known what he's going to ask me. And so genuinely, like, I'm stoked to answer this question. Interest rates have been high for the last like 20 or 22 months rolling. And so this has been an amazing opportunistic uh, opportunity, I should say. We have been opportunistic. I have been opportunistic in teaching this to our clients, where you can actually call people, whether it's, agents where there's a house that's listed and it's sitting there for 90 days, 100 days, 120 days, 150 days, 180 days, whatever, and it's not selling, or it's for sale by owner and it's been listed for a really long time, same thing, 90, 180 days, and it's just getting nowhere fast. Well, we can now pick up the phone, call that agent, call that seller, and say, "Hey, listen, I'm calling to make an offer on your house. Really love the area. I looked through the pictures online. Everything checks out. I'm not going to be, beating you up or negotiating on price too much, if any at all. I'm already pre-approved, matter of fact, with my lender. I just need to know, what does the house rent for, or what has it rented for in the past." And some of the times the seller will come back, or the agent will come back, and will be like, "Well, Keith, unfortunately, it actually hasn't rented. So I don't know what the market rents are." And this is totally fine. I care not, because I've already done my research. We have our own freaking software for this. It's called Deal Labs. And so at that time, I wonder if I can share my screen. I think that I can. So we're going to share screen. We're going to go window. No, we're going to go entire screen. Here we go. All right. I think I've only done this one other time on one of our YouTube videos, but here is our software. So most of you, if you follow me for any period of time, know that I love investing in upstate New York. And so most of these scrapes are mine. And so we'll come up here, and here's whatever, 200 roughly houses that, oh my goodness, but those are like not really great scores. These really filtered by deal score? Yeah, man. All right. Not 53. That doesn't look like a really good house. Is there a better option? This one's only a 50. I mean, that looks pretty good. Let's see if I can find something that's a little bit better. That looks pretty good. Okay, so deal economics is 78 on that one. And let's look at this one, 71. Motivation is a little bit higher. Let's see what I would be interested in more. So this is, yeah, let's go ahead and just use this one. So great, typically a great price here. Upstate New York, $110,000, really solid. I like buying houses anywhere between 50 to 150 with an ARV of $100 to $200,000. Minimal repairs is obviously ideal, but I don't mind putting $20,000 or $30,000 into the renovation of one of these properties. It's still going to cash flow so long as you buy it right. So, for example, this house has had 2 price cuts over just 9 days, and it's been on the market now for 81 days. They've cut the price $25,000. So they originally listed at $135,000. They're down to $110,000. It's been sitting a little more than 2.5 times longer than the median area. And there's solid cash flow, $454, great rental potential. So this is a 3 bed, 1 bath, 1,700 square foot. The lot size is actually pretty reasonable, 2,100 square foot, so that's about a third of an acre. And if we wanted to see the Zillow listing, we can click on this, and this is going to give us more photos. As you can see, this is a really clean looking house. This is a really clean looking house. Oh, look, and it's pending. Dadgummit. See what I'm saying? Freaking Deal Labs literally put this in my face And if I had seen it, I would have jumped on it a little bit faster. But what a great opportunity. Let me tell you why. Let's actually like run the numbers. So we have this deal economics tab here. Let me make it a little bit larger for any of you who have aged eyes. Just kidding. That was a joke. Okay, so let's say that we offer them what they are asking, $110,000. And I'm going to give them, let's say, 10% as a down payment, and the interest rate is 0%. So I'm going to have to come up with $11,000. Now, as we look through these photos, this is absolutely 100% unequivocally, beyond a shadow of a doubt, rent-ready condition. This is beautiful for upstate New York, $100,000. The ceiling looks a little bit weird. I don't think that that's a bode. Never mind. I was a little bit concerned that it was bode. This is such a good rental. Man, this looks just like a house that I own, with the whole upstairs looking like this and everything. And a nice big lot. Oh my goodness. That looks ghetto as all get out. We should probably do something about that. Otherwise, this is just fantastic. Wow. Two car. This is so good. This is so worth. Man, I wish I had bought this house. Okay, let me show you this. And this, by the way, guys, this is only a 50 deal score. It goes up to 100. So I'd love to show you what like a 60 looks like, or a 70 looks like. I've even seen some 80s, and I even saw like a 91 or something the other day. So if we tell this guy, hey, listen, I don't want to beat you up over price. I'm already pre-approved. And by the way, y'all, there's a script for you to read here. Let's back out of this. Hey, my name is, okay, so this would say Keith if this was my actual account. I'm logged into the admin account right now. Otherwise, this would have your name. If your name's Jeff, then it would autofill Jeff. Dayton, it'll autofill Dayton. I'm calling about the listing you have for sale at 6182 Airport Road. I'm really not going to be doing too much negotiating. As long as the property cash flows, I'm great. I can get a DSCR loan. I'm already pre-approved. My lender just needs to know what it's currently rented for, or what it's rented for before. And maybe they're going to say, well, Keith, we actually have never rented it. It's not currently for rent. It's sitting vacant, or whatever the situation is. So here's a couple of really cool things. Let me just show you. It's weird that it doesn't. There we go. This is what I wanted. So let's look at AIV. This stands for Artificial Intelligence Valuation. So this is ARV, but done by AI. So it said it was at risk of being high risk. So I'm not really sure that this is correct. I'm fairly familiar with this area, and this is pretty sticking high. So I'm not gonna say that it's not possible that we're dealing with a $435,000 renovation. ARV, but that would be really, really high. Let's look at the rental valuation. Boom. See how fast that was? So we have an API with Rentometer. We have an API with RentCast. We're able to pull rents super, super, super fast. And so we're going to pull like all of the rents. And then we're going to say, some of these are not very good comps. They're not true comps. So for example, this is a 1 bed, 1 bath. That's not really a comp. This is a 1 bed, 1 bath. Not a comp. 1 bed, 1 bath. A lot of people will use these, like Rentometer. People will use these, and it's totally not accurate. So what we do is we look at these 15. We pull the 3 to 4 most comparable houses, and we try to get rid of. So here we probably got rid of like 9 of these, and we said here's the range of the whole thing, but really it looks like we're kind of on the upper end here, 1950. So we're going to go ahead and use that in the calculator. Let's go back to the rental tab, and we're going to slide this back to 10%. So we know that the monthly rent, fair market rent, is $19.50. Now we also have it in with HUD.gov. So if you do Section 8 like I do, we're tied directly into their website, which this is kind of crap, and that is accurate. I do rent my houses for anywhere between $1,585 to $1,615, so like $1,600 plus or minus 15. And so this is accurate for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. So fair market rent is obviously far higher than Section 8 rentals here. Now we're going to account for a 5% vacancy, 10% for management, $220 per month for property taxes. That's a little bit high. I actually have my property taxes. It's $4.40 and 98 cents. Looks like it's kind of all the way on the other wall. But that is for the quarter, not for the month. And so we're actually not going to use the default. 440 divided by 3 is a number that I don't know, so I'm going to cheat, use a calculator. It's 147. So we're going to lower this down to 147. That's actually accurate for a house that I own in this one zip code over. That's a 3-bedroom house, basically the same square footage. Insurance. This is saying insurance is $97. That's pretty accurate. And I think I just threw away. Mine's it's like $90. Okay, so we're really close. It's like $89 or $91 or something like that. Property taxes is getting, I already put that. Insurance, maintenance, 10%. That way you're, laying aside a little bit of money for things to go wrong. HOA fee, 0. Why? Because it's not in an HOA. Now, that means that we're bringing in $1,950. We're setting aside $97 for vacancy. So the effective rental rate for the year is $1,850. Now we're taking out our mortgage, which is $275. And by the way, let me pause really quick. So Dayton, your question was, how do we do this when the rental rates are so expensive? Not the rental rates, the interest rates are so expensive on DSCR loans. Well, I like going to this person and say, well, hey, listen, is $110,000 really your client's best number on this one, or do they have any flexibility? And here's the thing. On this one, it totally works. Like, you don't even have to negotiate with this person. But potentially, you can offer more than what they're asking. More than what they're asking. Because you're giving them a great price because they're giving you great terms. So it'll be 0% interest for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. And so you can kind of play with these things, and you can say, well, I don't want to give them 20% more than their asking price. I just want to give them 5% more than their asking price. All right, dope. Go ahead and float that idea. You can click on these, and it's going to do everything for you. And I don't want 72 months. That's too short, Keith. I want to do 84 months, or you can do a custom month if you want. But these are kind of just the presets. I typically am going to do 72 or 84 months. And I like doing 5% over or whatever their listing price was. So if we look at these property details, it was 135. So potentially I can come over here and say, well, that's pretty close. I can't get you, you had this thing listed how many days ago? You had this thing listed 3 months ago for 135. Probably couldn't get you 135, but I could get you pretty darn close. What if I were to come in with an offer at $132,000? And then you stop, you just shut up at that point. Because this person, they think that we're either stupid or we're crazy. Like, genuinely. I've done enough of these calls. They think that we're stupid or we're crazy. Because they're like, Mr. Keith, do you realize that my client has actually lowered the purchase price? Like, they've lowered what they want to $110,000. You saw the price reductions, right? Yeah. Of course I've seen the price reductions. Here's the thing. Here's the problem. If I were to go out and get a DSCR loan, and I'm paying these folks 6.5, 7.5, 8.5%, and I'm sinking $20,000 or $30,000 down into this, it's just not going to cash flow. Like, you understand that that's why you haven't received an offer, a full price offer. You've probably gotten some dirty lowball offers. Is that right? Am I correct? Yes or yes? And they're going to be like, yeah, I've received some dirty lowball offers. Yeah, just out of curiosity, is it right around like the $70,000 to $75,000 range? What is he going to say? Yes. How do I get this number? Just take whatever their list price is, which is $110,000, and times it by 0.7. This is what all these knuckleheads are doing. This is what people teach, is take their price times 0.7 equals. Now, some people will do times 0.6 or times 0.65, or they'll do times 0.7, and they'll say, well, I think it's going to need $10,000 or $15,000 of repairs. And so that's why I said $7,000 to $75,000. And I'm going to say, well, yeah, of course. Because if they can get you down to $75,000, then they can go get a DSCR loan, put 20% down, which is only $15,000. 75 minus 15 is 60. Now they only owe 60. And when you have 8.5% on $60,000, you can still cash flow. Here's the thing. Your seller just accepted an offer at $75,000 when I'm fully willing to pay them $132,000. Pause, let that sink in, let them do the math. $75,000, $132,000. The delta on that is like $55,000. Why does this matter? The agent gets paid commission on the sales price of the home. So 3% on $75,000 versus 3% on $132,000. What does the agent want more? The higher amount. So of course they're going to say, well, yeah, I think that my client would entertain an offer of $132,000. What's the gotcha? Give me the gotcha. What's the catch? Is this a bait and switch? Well, here's the thing. It'd be super easy for me. You can just skip right on here. It would be super easy for me to get a loan. Honestly, frankly, I just prefer it. But don't you think most of the other investors are going to hit the same wall here, right? With a DSCR loan, you won't get qualified. Conventional maybe, but you're losing money. FHA or VA, sure, but now you're talking about an owner-occupant, somebody who's actually going to move into the house. I'm an investor. I live in Florida. I'm not going to be moving into this house. So realistically, the seller's either going to adjust their price or consider seller financing. Otherwise, they're just going to be holding it longer on the market with you, not getting it sold. So here's what I'd be willing to do. For example, I could give them $11,000 cash at close. The purchase price is $132,000 over 84 months. And then we refinance out at the end. This is $22,000 over their asking price, just structured a little bit differently. Or if they'd rather adjust the price, I'd look at a straight cash offer too, as long as I could cash flow on it. Now, would you like me to send this email over so you can present it to your client? And then we don't have this yet. We're actually adding it this week or next week. You'll be able to click LOI, generate LOI, and then it will produce a letter of intent that will go straight to, you can even hook it up to your Gmail actually, and just press that button and you'll get there, you'll collect the agent, or if you're pitching this to a FSBO, for sale by owner, then you just get that seller's email and send them directly over the letter of intent. So this is how we're doing it, to answer your question, Dayton. Interest rates suck right now, and if you were to pay, it was the wrong one. If you were to pay 7%, so 7.5%, honestly, this is such a good deal, which is why it's pending. As we saw earlier, it's pending sale right now, $105,000. It's totally a deal. It cash flows, even with a terrible, crappy interest rate at 7.5%. It still is a 2.2 DSCR ratio that cash flows $525 a month. But as soon as we take that 7.5% down to zero, instead of cash flowing $500 a month, now we're going to cash flow $943. Really, really, really good. So that's the whole thing. I mean, that's the software. Not to turn this into a pitch fest for Deal Labs, but you can get into Deal Labs for $1. And I'm pretty sure it's a 28-day trial and you get like 1,000 credits for free. And what you just seen me do was 60 credits. So how many times does 60 go into 1,000? Like you could easily find a lot of deals and pitch them. And the phone numbers are right there. And it's just analysis like so freaking fast. And then the actual prices are $50 for starter and $119. No, $99. It's $50, $49 for starter, $99 for pro. With pro, it gets you 5 times more credits and a whole bunch of whiz-bang fancy stuff. And you can also export to your CRM, which we have our own CRM called DealBase, and you can get that for $250 per month. And that's also $1 for a month trial, 28 days of trial. And we have 389 automations. So anything that can be automated and should be automated, it is automated. And all you have to do is press that button to export to your CRM. Bada boom, bada bing. as much of the process that can be automated is automated. Hopefully it answers your question and takes up all the time.
That definitely does answer my question, even though I wasn't here for half of it. Oh my god, I don't know what is happening with the recording software today, but holy man, is it not
Good thing I can do a
letting me
show all by myself and just
do my thing.
talk forever,
Honestly,
right?
you might have to for the next one because it's been threatening me with the trying to reconnect up above. It's looming over
Oh
my
no.
head like a freaking maze. So I'll see if I can get off one more question before it
Hey, if
decides that
anybody
it's had
wants to
enough of
set up
me.
a GoFundMe for Dayton so he can buy one of these houses in the States and get some proper Wi-Fi or some fiber optic internet.
It'll
Do you
be
want to
needed.
do a
GoFundMe. Go
do you
go fund the
There's such a
podcast.
bad delay,
I
bro.
desperately need it.
Do you want to do a second question on this
Oh
one
no.
or cut it and just go to the second one?
No, we're gonna do one last question. We're gonna get this one out. What's your
I'll keep it
philosophy
short.
on leverage? At what point does debt become dangerous rather than a wealth building tool?
55%. So this is an easy question for me because a couple of years ago, I was told by a mentor never to let your portfolio get over leveraged. And he did this in an open forum, if you will. And so I felt like it was okay to ask, well, what do you define as over leveraged? And he said 70%. You need to always have at least 30% in your portfolio. And I didn't challenge him on the topic because we were in front of 100 people. But what I did is I went back home and I did an analysis of all of the markets that I had done deals in or was marketing in, which at the time was 305. 305 MSAs, which stands for Metropolitan Statistical Area. And so what I did was I pulled a study that went back to 1991, I believe. It totally varied because some people adopted like going from a paper system to now, hey, we're on the internet, like let's get these things. Or the internet came later and they were able to pull files and like put that data online to be easily found. And so it didn't go back very far, but 30 years is enough. And really what I wanted to capture, of course, was 2008. I wanted to see how these metros did. And so to answer your question, it's 55%. And I can say that like with a freaking boatload of data behind me saying that I looked at every one of the 305 metros that I was doing deals in. And the worst one, the metro that was hit the hardest, lost 45% of the value of the house. And so if you were leveraged at 70%, you're now completely underwater and you can't get out of it. Now, 55% is only applicable if you were in that one market, right? If you, let's say that you held 20 houses and all of them were in that market, then you would have to be at 55% because it fell to 55%. And at that point, you're even Steven. You owe what everything is worth. You're not underwater and you don't have equity. That said, if you diversify your portfolio, and let's say that you held, 8 houses in New York and 8 houses in Jacksonville, Florida, and 8 houses in Indianapolis and 8 houses in Ohio and whatever, you were to diversify. If you were to do that, fine. I'm okay with like 70% leverage debt on your houses. That being said, I would never, ever, ever go over 70%. And in order for me to get to 70%, I would probably have to be in at least 5 metropolitan areas with less than, with one of those MSAs not holding more than like 25% of my portfolio. That would make me feel fairly safe at 70%. Otherwise, if you want to be exercise an exuberance of caution like I do, my portfolio is less than 55% leverage, no matter what. I do not care what day it is, what month it is, what year it is, what quarter it is. I'm always going to be less than 55%. I don't have a good attachment to debt, to be honest. I've had to pay off hundreds of thousands of dollars of bad debt, credit card debt, and that took me a long time to do. I've actually had to do it 2 times in my life. And getting out from under 24% APR is just a pain in the ass, dude. And so obviously, the SCR loans and mortgages totally different than bad debt like credit cards. Nonetheless, it was difficult for me to escape that. And now, me and my wife are debt free. But I don't like debt. I do believe that it's necessary. I do believe that leverage is a good thing, and leverage is literally powerful because you can make a little movement turn into a big movement, right? So you have to be smart with it, though. Never over leverage, because when the bad thing happens, when World War III happens, when Great Depression #2 happens, when the Great Economic Reset, whatever you want to call it, happens, you don't want to be caught with your pants down. You want to be able to liquidate some assets to take care of your family. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to do it. That's all I got.
Excellent. Last thing you said was about doomsday. I like it. It's a nice positive message to leave for people.
Yeah. You guys don't have... Man, if anybody wants to talk nerd out about prepping or anything like that, hit me up. I'm a little bit of a low
prepper. I should have known you're a prepper. I didn't even I'm not surprised, but I didn't even ask. I'm not surprised you're a prepper.
I definitely am. Be ready for anything. Don't you? Yeah, I don't have a bunker. Nice. Maybe one day. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, if you have any questions, we're tapping into a bunch of different social medias here, so people are asking questions on Reddit. People hit me up on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever the heck, friggin' leaving comments in the below in the YouTube channel or on wherever we are with the podcast. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We will answer it. And if you want to take it a little bit further, we can hop on a call. All right. That's it for this episode. We'll see you guys on the next one.
That's a wrap on this episode of the First Deal podcast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to us on so you never miss an episode. We drop new content regularly, and every single one is built to move the needle forward for you. In fact, you can usually find that content right here. That's all for now. We'll see you on the next one, my friends.